Hey everyone, Victoria here and welcome back to My Books Me. Today I'm bringing you another wrap-up video. I've only just done one and I said at the end I really need to get reading because I've only read 2 pages of my next book. Well, I didn't pick up that book, but I have picked up 5 books since then and I've read them really quickly. And if you've been following me on social media, you probably know what these books are. So let's just dive right. So these 5 books are all by the same author. 2 of them are a duology and 3 of them are the first 3 books in a series, and yeah, they're going to come to no surprise to anyone, as I said, who's been following me on social media or who just knows what I like reading. So all of these books by Abby Glines. As you guys will know, I've been reading her books this year. I took a bit of a break and then I picked a book up. I picked up one book and I was like, yep, I'm going to be reading all her books now for like the next month, which is bad because I need to read books for university and me wanting to read her books is just not helping me very much. But anyway, so the first 2 books I read are the Vincent Boys duology, making up of the Vincent Boys and the Vincent Brothers. These are following that could be their ship name, Bo and Sawyer Vincent, and the first book follows their best friend Ashton Gray, who grew up with them. They've been best friends, all 3 of them, for years, until the age of 14 when Sawyer asked Ashton out. She said yes, and they've been going out for 3 years. And because of that, Ashton's friendship with Bo kind of fell to the wayside, even though they had a really strong connection as kids. And during the summer, Sawyer goes off with his family in the mountains or something, and Ashton and Bo decide that they want to just reconnect as friends because they're still close but they just don't speak to one another. And it is because, firstly, Bo is kind of in love with Ashton, has been since they were kids, and he has always been annoyed that Sawyer got the girl. Ashton sort of, because of the connection that they had, Ashton also had feelings for him, but yeah, so during this summer while Sawyer is away, they reconnect and they realize their feelings for one another and they kind of start a relationship. So Ashton ends up cheating on Sawyer, and Ashton feels like she can be herself around Bo because being with Bo, she sort of changed herself to become like the perfect person that Bo would like. She's changed things about herself, and Bo has always been trying to get the real Ashton to come out, so he teases her and things like that just to try and get her to snap and be the Ashton that she was growing up. And yeah, they end up getting together, but there's some family drama going on for all 3 of them, and that kind of gets in the way of everything. And the fact that Ashton and Sawyer are kind of like the perfect couple in their school and in their town, and the fact that Ashton is the preacher's daughter, and there's a lot of stuff going on. But it was really, really good. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Then the second one takes place 6 months afterwards. Obvious, not really a spoiler I don't think, but obviously Bo and Ashton get together and Sawyer is heartbroken and he kind of doesn't want to move on. And when Lana, who is Ashton's cousin, arrives in town for the summer before they all go off to college, she's always had a thing for him since they were kids, and she is trying to get him to see her as this beautiful girl who has been in love with him since they were kids. But Sawyer is still in love with Ashton and initially uses getting with Lana to sort of make Ashton angry, but he begins developing feelings for her, but everything sort of gets difficult when Ashton sometimes goes to Sawyer for help with various things, and Sawyer drops everything, even Lana, to help her and rush to her aid. And because Lana doesn't want to be second best, she ends up leaving town and Sawyer is devastated, and he realizes that the love he had for Ashton is a completely different love that he has for Lana. And at the end we get an epilogue that takes place 4 years later, and it's really, really good. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I prefer Bo and Ashton's relationship, but I prefer how this one was written and how how Sawyer and Lana's relationship developed. I kind of preferred that one a little bit better. But all in all, I gave both of these 4 out of 5 stars. These are the this edition is the extended and uncut edition, which from what I read on Abby's website has 10,000 extra words in it. I think each book has at least 10,000 extra words in it, and this actually has sex scenes in it. And when I read that, because I read that after I read the books, and I was like, then what the hell was in these books? Like if she added 10,000 extra words to them, they're not even that long. And some of like the sex stuff is like a good chunk of the book. It was kind of weird, but anyway, these are really good and I definitely recommend them. So then I started on the Seabreeze series, which is, I thought it was a YA version of the Rosemary Beach series, and it kind of is. Some books are YA, some of them are new adults, so it's kind of borderline. The first one is Breathe, and this follows Sadie White and Jack Stone. Sadie, how can I explain? Sadie takes over her mother's job. Her mother is like 6 months pregnant or something. She's kind of lazy and selfish and kind of a bitch, and is like, you know what, you're on summer holidays now, I'm not gonna work, I'm just work for me. So Sadie gets a job at this massive mansion near Seabreeze, being a house cleaner and working in the gardens and things like that. Turns out it's the house of Jack Stone, who is a 19-year-old American heartthrob singer. Like, he's kind of meant to be like Justin Bieber, I think. And like, he's just come off tour and he's taking a break for the summer. And he is just relieved to be out of the public eye and out of the way of girls throwing themselves at him and everything like that, until he meets Sadie. And at first he's like, holy crap, some, you know, teenagers got into my house and she's going to, you know, whatever. But he finds out that Sadie actually doesn't really like Jax as a musician. Well, not that. She's just not like a big fan like the rest of America. She doesn't have posters of him up on his walls, and he finds that really refreshing. And they end up going out, but they both know it's only for the summer, and that Sadie has no idea about being a part of Jack's world, and Jack's celebrity fame kind of gets in the way of their relationship. And when the world finds out that Sadie exists and that she is going out with Jack, sort of everything blows up. And yeah, I don't really know how else to explain it. That's about it. But it's about the relationship, and I really liked it. But I really liked it. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Again, it's just one of those contemporary books. If you like Abby Glines, then this is it's just a classic book by Abby. Then the next book is Because of Lo, and this one follows Marcus Hardy, who is Sadie's friend who worked with Sadie in the first book, and Willow Lo Montgomery, who is Marcus's new roommate's best friend. So anyway, this takes place a couple months after the first book. Marcus was sort of, well, I wouldn't say in love, but he really liked Sadie in the first book and kind of ended up losing out to Jax. And he kind of bummed about that, and he moves back home. Well, he was going off to university, but he moves back to Seabreeze because his dad is having an affair, breaking up their family. And so he's come back to support his mum and his sister. And he has moved in with Cage York, whose best friend is Lo, and she's got her own family drama. Her sister has a 1-year-old daughter, kicked her out of home. The only time she can stay there is when she actually babysits her niece Larissa, and at other times she stays with Cage because she has nowhere else to go. And both Marcus and Lo start developing feelings for one another, but both have family issues that they don't really want to bring into the relationship. And Lo knows that because Marcus is like from a wealthy family and she's from the other side of the tracks, like she knows that he really has no idea about her world and her level in society and all the crap she's been through. And when all the family drama comes out, Marcus realizes he has to choose between his family and Lo, and holy crap. This book was really good. I really liked this one. I think I liked this one a little bit more than the other one, especially with all the drama that was going on and how it all came out. If you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen, like, I made a tweet saying, when you know shit's about to go down in the book and you're really worried for all the characters, like, I could see the plot twist that was happening in here, like it had been revealed to you as the reader, and I was waiting for everyone else to find out, and I was just reading, and I was getting so stressed and so worried and so worked up because I knew that once it was revealed to everyone, like everything would just go to shit. And I was like so worried for all these characters. Like, that's how much these characters were meaning to me. I was like, holy crap, please don't let anyone know what is happening. But I really, really liked this one. And yeah, I don't really know how else to explain it. I just like these books. They're just fun and easy to read. Again, 4 out of 5 stars. So then the final book is While It Lasts, and this one is by far my favorite in the series so far. So this is following Cage York and Eva someone, I don't remember her name, Eva Brooks. So this is, I want to say, I think it's like 18 months or a year after. It's the following summer. Yeah, the summer after the second book, and Cage was done for driving under the influence. He was put in jail. He was bailed out by his baseball coach, and his coach is like, look, we'll make this go away because you cannot risk your scholarship. Otherwise he just won't be able to go to college. So his coach sends him out to his brother's farm in Alabama to work there for the summer. So that at the end, if he does everything right, his DUI can be swept to the side. His spot on the baseball team will still be secure, and he'll still have his scholarship. And when he gets there, he meets Eva Brooks, who is his new boss's daughter, and she has been through a world of heartbreak already, because 18 months prior to this, she lost her fiance. He was killed in Baghdad by a bomb. And holy crap, can I just say, I was crying in the prologue of this book. It was so moving, and I didn't even know any of these characters. And so she's still very much just recovering from that. She still wears her engagement ring. She hasn't even driven the Jeep that she has where he proposed to her. She hasn't picked up her guitar to play, and because all the songs she ever wrote either were about her fiance Josh or just remind her of him. When she meets Cage, who is the world's biggest man whore, yeah, in this series he's the world's biggest man whore, she knows straight away that she doesn't want to get involved with him. You know, he's there because he's been arrested, and he just looks like one of those guys that, you know, knows how to get any girl that he wants. And so she treats him quite rudely initially, and Cage is kind of taken aback by that, because obviously every girl he's ever sort of flashed a smile at has like gone weak in the knees and been in his bed that night. But despite the fact that he actually kind of wants to go there with Eva, he can't, because her father said, if you go anywhere near my daughter, you'll be off my property in like seconds and you'll lose your scholarship. But over the summer, they sort of get to know each other, and Eva realizes her initial thought about him was wrong, and getting to know Cage sort of helps her finally move on from Josh. She eventually ends up taking off her engagement ring. She ends up, you know, driving her vehicle. She ends up starting to play guitar, and she starts to realize that Cage, she starts to realize that maybe she's falling in love with Cage, and she's sort of worried because obviously she can't tell her father, because her father will be like, no, he's a bad guy, you do not need to be anywhere near him. And also because she's worried about what Josh's family will think. They are her neighbors and have been her family for as long as she can remember. Josh's mum is kind of like her mum, because she lost her mum when she was younger. And when Josh's mum says, like, it's good to see that you're finally moving on, but, you know, you can't move on with someone like Cage, and she gets really worried because she doesn't want to, you know, she's worried that, how can I explain it? She's worried that like she's not doing justice to Josh's memory, and that, I don't know, she gets sort of frightened that maybe what she's doing is wrong. But they both realize that they love each other, and yeah, I really, really love this. Seriously, as I said, I cried in this book because just everything that happened was so beautiful. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I liked it a bit more, and I'm so excited because this actually has, all the books in this series are standalone companion novels. But this one has a second book, which I'm about to start, and I am so excited. And also, this couple is the parents of one of the people in the spin-off series of this, where Rosemary Beach meets Seabreeze, so I'm so excited. But yeah, I really liked this one, and it's also a story that when I finished it one morning, and I was sort of just thinking about different elements of it the rest of the day. I really liked it. So they are the 5 books that I have read recently. Be prepared for more Abby Glines books in the future, because I've been reading them now. I've picked up and I've continued on with the rest of the Seabreeze series. Yeah, if you love contemporary romance and new adult books, then I definitely recommend checking out Abby's books. I've said it before and I will say it again, they're really good. Especially if you just want a bit of a light, easy and fluffy sort of read. That is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!